Tristan?
Yes?
The reason that it's all people that have been here before is because you haven't updated the website on 1 Million Cups to let people find out how to get here. There is no link to OC Engine. There is no link to the Zoom. There is no link anywhere. I went last week trying to figure out how to get here again, and I didn't find the email until much later. You can't find this place right now. If you go to the meetups that list 1 Million Cups, none of them have a link to OC Engine or to Zoom, nothing. So you guys need to update all the social media stuff.
Sure, so we've been going through it, and for now, you can come on OC Engine to find it. I know Tristan was working on it.
Nobody knows to do that.
I understand.
For 1 Million Cups, if you search Google, 1 Million Cups does not show up on OC Engine.
I understand.
You need to work on SEO as well on that one.
I understand the last 4 weeks we've really had to totally shift in what we're doing, including 2 days ago losing our entire email list, which we had to find and rebuild. So
yeah, but you really need to just update. You need to update the 1 Million Cups site with the Kauffman Foundation. That has no links here. You need to update.
So Cynthia, just as an update, I did do it, but it was probably, I'm trying to remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. And what I'm seeing on my computer is that it does, and it's honestly, I'm not super happy with the layout, but I also don't have a lot of ability to control what it looks like. But the link, so when I look at it, I can see it. If you cannot, please let me know.
Okay, I haven't checked in the last couple of days. I think the last.
No, and it is just
Friday.
in the last couple of days.
Okay.
But the other one that I did try to update, and sorry, I did a complete reboot on my computer, so all those wonderful links that I have open all the time are closed.
Okay, when you do a search for 1 Million Cups Irvine, most of the things that come up still show us as a meeting at the Cove. So it
I know,
show, and for whatever reason, it's just there are no links showing up on OC Engine in search engines. So if you search for 1 Million Cups, pardon me?
If there could just be a meeting ID number, that's what I was searching for too. I just fortunately found, but just that one number alone for Zoom, boom, we're there.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough to get us here. So
can I suggest that in the meetup that you put the Zoom link there?
You know what? And I was just checking that because those were the two that I did try to hit. And it looks like the edits that I did on Meetup did not take. So thank you very much. That is definitely a point well made. And I'll go ahead and try to make sure that that is all put together back on Meetup, as well as some of our other, the social media that I have logged in for I will. But yeah, this has been kind of a reactionary time. So thank you very much. Point well made.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know because it's really easy to lose track of all this stuff.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it.
But right now to get here, you have to be kind of determined. That's why you're not seeing new faces, I think. So hopefully, you know, any of us that have social media stuff, if we can push out, now that I've bookmarked the thing on OC Engine that has the coming meetings. So that really should be the link that you put everywhere, because whether it's this week or next week or the week after, it'll have that link to the next meeting. So just as a suggestion.
No, and I appreciate that, Matt. Is that something that is possible from the back end of Zoom, is to use the same meeting ID number every week?
It is, but there's some issues with doing that, mainly Zoom bombing. So we're probably not going to go that direction, but I hear what you're saying, and we'll figure out a workaround.
Yeah, but that one page on your site, Matt, that has the upcoming meetings, that's what everything I think should link to.
Sure.
Because each of those meetings has its own ID.
Sure.
And if you go to that meeting, then you see that there's 4 more coming up. So you know that that's where you have to go. Yep. So
you can also use the same meeting ID, but ask for a password each time.
You know, Farah, we have talked about that, and thank you very much for bringing that up, because we have talked about that. And one of the things that we're concerned with is, where are we putting in barriers to entry, and how much of a pain in the butt is it?
And if you have a different password each week, it's like having a different ID each week anyway.
Mhm.
So, you know, challenges.
The world is full of them.
However, I'm so appreciative to be able to attend twice already, which I haven't been able for a year. So thank you for doing this. However, we've made it here. I'm glad we're here.
We are glad that you are here as well, Farah. So we do have more people. And so, Cynthia, I'm so glad you brought that up. We just had a great conversation and allowed for more people to go ahead and pop on. Welcome to 1 Million Cups in our new virtual environment. We will be changing how it ends up looking. And if you are not on the email list, please go ahead and private message either myself or Matt Zimmer as the host, so that we can make sure that you get on that email list and have it for next week. That is one of those things that if you're not already getting the emails, we want to make sure that you are able to get them. One of the things that we tried last week, and it worked really, really well, and I see that many people are already muted. During the presentation, please go ahead and mute your microphone. That makes it so that our speaker does not get interrupted by things like your work at home office mates, AKA your family, coming in and asking you questions, or the cat deciding that it's time for some attention. We can go ahead and keep our attention on the presenter, which today is Chris. Chris, could you go ahead and give us a big wave so everybody knows where you are and say something?
Hi, everyone. My name is Christopher Lim. This is my first time with the virtual meeting for 1 Million Cups. I'm excited to present my startup. I'm trying to hope to get some feedback with my presentation skills.
And we are very happy to have you here today, Chris. A couple of points of general etiquette that I want to point out, just because Zoom is such a new environment. Some of you may have seen Cynthia give Chris a round of virtual applause. Cynthia, could you do that again just to show everybody what it looks like? Wow, as long as you feel like you are halfway presentable, because holy cow, we know you're all at home. We're okay with it. Thank you, Richard. That's actually kind of a nice way to be able to keep kind of engaged with the speaker, both for you and for the speaker. Just a quick show of hands by people who have their video on. Who here has done presenting in a virtual environment? Okay, for those people who raised their hand. Oh, Richard, I love your little icon. Thank you. How many of you felt really, really weird talking to the camera? Yeah. Talking to the camera, especially when you can't see any faces on the other end, can be a little bit of a suspended reality type thing. So if you're comfortable going ahead and putting yourself on video, we do love to see your smiling face. Another point of general how to use, there are two views, your gallery view and your speaker view. In the button for this, for me, and different operating systems may vary, but for me, it's in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, where I can toggle back and forth between speaker view and gallery view. Gallery view means that I can see a bunch of people all on one page, but you're all in teeny tiny boxes. Gallery view means that the person who is speaking, which right now weirdly is Raul, and I have no idea why, but the person who's speaking kind of goes front and center, and then there's a small ribbon up above of people who are also on the call. Another thing that for some people you may or may not know how to use, or that we can use, is the group chat. For myself, I absolutely love the group chat. It's a nice way to go ahead and communicate out, and it is something that we will be using during the general Q&A. If you want to go into chat, on the bottom of my screen anyway, and possibly yours as well, there will be a pop-up ribbon. One of them says chat. You can extend that. Good morning, Jordan. She just used, or he. Jordan, are you a boy Jordan or a girl Jordan?
Here, let me turn on my video.
There you are, you're a boy Jordan. Thank you. is really super helpful for when we're managing the question and answer period, so that we can go ahead and make sure that we're addressing as many of those as possible. Additionally, you can click while you're in chat on the manage participants. That will actually show you on your sidebar who else is in the meeting. And once you're in your meeting, and I see Kristen already has her coffee, you can pick an icon. If you have a question, you can also go ahead and raise your hand as an icon in that area. Matt and I both try to monitor that so that we can get to questions effectively and efficiently. Just like last week, we will be having a presentation from Chris. He'll go about 6 minutes, and then we will be putting you guys into breakout rooms so that you can discuss what his asks for the day are. With that, Chris, are you all ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Not really sure how. Should I share my screen with my PowerPoint slide, or I remember you saying someone else might share that, and then I can.
You know what? If you're comfortable with managing that yourself from where you are, that would probably be the easiest.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let me get it ready right now. How do I share screen? Okay. Me. Oh, it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Matt, could we go ahead and make him a co-host? And there you are, Chris.
Good. Okay, cool. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay. Okay, I'll get started. Hi everyone, my name is Christopher Lim, and my company is Hacha Corporation. Our mission is to bring boba milk tea right into your home with the push of a button. So for those who are not familiar with milk tea is a Taiwanese-based beverage that comes in a variety of flavors, such as regular milk tea, taro milk tea, and Thai milk tea, and much more. It is traditionally served with boba, which are tiny, chewy black balls made from tapioca. Today, these teas are sold in mom and pop shops, specialty shops all over the United States. Next slide. So what seems to be the problem? The problem is that milk teas from specialty shops are expensive. So they roughly cost around $5 for a 16-ounce beverage, and adding a scoop of boba would be an additional 50 cents. And depending on where you live, you might not have access to specialty shops. Making milk teas in your home is time consuming. I used to work at a boba shop in college, and there's a lot that goes into making milk tea. For example, you first have to brew the leaves, strain the leaves, add the appropriate amount of cream, sugar, and flavoring to make sure that your drink comes out consistent every single time. There's not a variety at home options. Oops. So most home options they come in like 2-pound bags. So it's very hard to have a variety of flavors for the average consumer. And also most milk tea drinkers don't really know where to purchase these at-home options as well. So solution, a household beverage machine that makes hot and cold milk teas with its own specialty pods and prepackaged boba. The machine can also brew coffee as well. So pretty much how it works is the specialty pods, we plan on releasing 6 flavors, which are house milk tea, matcha milk tea, Thai milk tea, Vietnamese coffee, almond milk tea, and taro milk tea. And then these pods would be inserted to the machine with a press of a button. You could brew hot or a cold beverage. It's pretty much the Keurig for milk teas. We're also planning on serving a prepackaged boba. Our advantage is that the boba itself would already be pre-cooked. So all you need to do is open up the container and add it to your cup. So total addressable market. So I wanted to compare the amount of boba shops in the United States compared to this number of Starbucks in the corresponding states. So we can go ahead and focus on California. So just in California alone, there's around 2,000 boba milk tea cafes. In comparison to Starbucks, there's 2,800 Starbucks. So it shows that people who drink Starbucks, they most likely have a coffee machine at home, while milk tea drinkers don't really have access to an at-home appliance. So that's the market we want to address. We also conducted, my team and I also conducted online surveys and in-store store surveys in front of boba shops. And the two questions I really wanted to focus on with our 5-question survey was how often you drink boba milk tea. So out of the 252 people that we surveyed, around 36% will drink milk tea more than 4 times a month. And the fourth question that we ask is, if there's a home machine that could easily make boba milk tea, would you purchase it? And we got a 38% said yes, and a 41% said maybe. So it shows that this is just as a very small sample size that that there's a market that we want to address and a pain point that we really want to solve. So competition. So we have 3 main competition. The first competitor would be specialty boba milk tea cafes. So the big players are 7 Leaves, Tasty, Lollipop. These are probably brands that people have heard of. So with these is that these drinks offer pretty much what our machine does, but we can also coexist. So for example, Keurig and Starbucks, they coexist. People can have coffee machines at home. People can have can go out and get their own coffee. So we want to be another option for milk tea drinkers. Second competitor is the at-home kits. So these at-home kits, again, comes in large 2-pound bags. So it's pretty hard to have a variety of flavors. And once you have the kit, you still have to make the beverage. So you still got to get the leaves. And usually these drinks don't really come out the same as if you were to go to a boba milk tea cafe. And lastly, the Keurig. The Keurig is really the main competitor regarding appliances. Luckily that their machine actually cannot brew boba milk tea. I've actually tried putting like my own powders and leaves in there. And based on their design, it doesn't work. So even if you want to put your own milk tea ingredients in a Keurig, it's going to leak and it won't work. Also, the Keurig also branded themselves as coffee. So we want to differentiate ourselves by just focusing on milk teas. So competitive advantage. So the first is we're first to market. So currently there's no existing household machine that makes milk teas. Our second is pricing. So our custom designed milk tea pods, it's going to be a lot cheaper than the $5 beverage that you'll pay at the coffee shop. And lastly, it's convenience. So for our convenience, all the pods will have the flavoring, such as the powder, the sugar, the creamer, and the tea leaves. And it's pretty much going to brew and filter everything with one go. So the user doesn't have to dissolve the powder separately. They don't have to strain all the leaves. That's all going to be designed within the pod. So it makes it a lot easier for the actual user. So our business model is going to be very similar to that of the Keurig. It's pretty much, they have the hardware acquisition. So the user would probably spend around like almost $180 to $200 for the machines. But most of the revenue comes from the actual pods. The margins are extremely high. So our model is very similar. So for our machine, our target price point is $300, and our goal is a 45% margin. Our target pod sale price point is 76 cents with an estimated margin of 280%. And our target boba sell price is 50 cents with an estimated margin of 400%. So as you can see, the margins are extremely high for the pods in the boba. And then with boba milk tea, there's so much varieties with the beverage. I mean, we're just starting off with 6 flavors. Like I haven't even talked about the fruity flavors that we want to offer later on. We can offer like a less sweetened flavor, and it's kind of endless. And the add-ons is, I mean, boba is kind of the staple. It's the staple when people drink milk tea. But I mean, there's different types of jelly. There's lychee jelly, taro jelly, egg pudding. There's coconut jelly. So we can also expand on that add-on as well too. So this is our 5-year financial forecast. Again, this is very optimistic. Our first year, we want to sell 1,000 machines. As you can see, that will give us a net income of $376,000. I won't go too much details regarding the expenses, but that is our target point for 1,000 units, because that's when it actually becomes profitable, when we go through economies of scale. And the 5th year is 15,000 machines. That's our target goal for the 5th year. And how I got that number is, I did a quick Facebook search based on people's interests. So I did boba milk tea through Facebook, and there's roughly around 1.5 million people in the United States who like boba milk tea. So if you capture around 1%, I mean, I know this is a top-down view, but if we capture 1%, that would be our net income. So Hacha's ask price is a $500,000 investment on a convertible note with a 15% discount and 4 million cap. Most of this investment is really going to go into the tooling costs. It's going to go into pretty much the engineering. So the problem with a machine like this is that the initial cost is pretty high, but once we overcome that initial cost per unit, it's going to be substantially cheaper. So that's what we're asking for right now. So this will be my contact information. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and hopefully I'll get some great feedback from everyone. Thank you very much.
Good job, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
So why don't we go ahead and split up into groups for around about 10 minutes. Matt, can you go ahead and make that happen?
Kristen, before we drop off, I have a question. Two things. I may have missed this. Who was this presentation targeted for? And then who's the audience that you're trying to make this presentation in front of? And then two, what is the ask? I missed that.
Oh, okay. So the first question was, who are we targeting for? So I'm trying to target investors. I've only presented once. So I'm really just targeting investors for this company. And then the second question is $500,000 is the ask price.
What would be your asks, Chris, from us as a community to help you improve or to make your business stronger?
Oh,
do you have those three asks?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I thought you meant my ask price in the slide. So the first one is how do I approach an investor, or how can I improve my presentation skills? That's one of my weaknesses right now. Secondly, I'm trying to find the right investor. So I'm not really sure how. I mean, I've done like the Google search, but I really want to find the correct investor that will bring more than just the financial aspect of the company, but really kind of help me with the sales and kind of distribution channels for the product. So that I don't really have experience. So that's what I'm really looking for right now.
Okay, does that help, Arash? Cool. In that case, I think we're about ready to split out. For everybody in the group chat channel, I'm putting the asks that Chris has. So if you guys could focus on those, and we'll split out into groups and reconvene in about 10 minutes.
Okay, if you have any issues, message me, but this should do it automatically.
How do we know when we're in a group?
It should send you a message.
Got it.